me get started. Welcome to this session on revolutionizing your software engineering tasks using Xmind. First of all, I want to congratulate each one of you for investing time for this productivity related session. So, in today's world, so much things are going on, so much data is being sent in different formats. You decided to spend your next 30 minutes with me. Thank you and a big congratulations for your commitment. This talk is going to be a 30 minutes talk. 20 to 25 minutes I'll be covering for sharing my experience, what I have learned, how I use Xmind for my day-to-day work, and the remaining time we would be using for Q&A. If there are more questions, I'll be answering them through my LinkedIn feed, or we'll just try to stay back on the platform. So that's one thing. Next is there are some hints that I wanted to share with you all. Make maximum utilization of this talk. Ask questions, share your experiences in the chat, whatever you can echo through. And you may also find a lot of like-minded folks in the chat, because all of these people who have joined, they love using visual techniques to store, process data. And if you're new to mind mapping, try to know these people, network with them, have fun. Half of the week is already gone, so you have completed half of the week, and now it's time for more fun in the coming days. So who am I? I'm Rahul Parwal. I'm a testing specialist. I have written 10 plus books on software testing and also on productivity. There's a book that I had written on ultimate productivity toolkit, where I and Ajay, we compiled 365 tools or resources to get testers productive. And Xmind was one of the top 3 tools that we feel can boost productivity and can revolutionize the way we work and process data. I'm also a conference speaker. I'm a tech blogger, and this is my LinkedIn snapshot. You can follow me, connect to me on LinkedIn. You'll get a link in the chat, and send me a request. We can even discuss anything post this session. So that's about me. I work with IFM, pretty innovative company, a lot of creativity and freedom to experiment. And we also use Xmind as one of the tool for data and for processing and a lot of presentations. So that's a background about me, that how I started with this, and how I got introduced to mind mapping. Interesting aspect. So I first got introduced to mind mapping in the year 2020, and I attended a session with Ajay, and where I got to know about how mind mapping works, what are the concepts, what are the internals of mind mapping, and so on. So that was my start with mind mapping. So I first got introduced to Xmind in the year 2020 pandemic time, and I learned about it through Ajay, and then my journey with Xmind started like anything. I started mind mapping like anything, and it was my go-to tool for almost all note taking, presentations, storing data, storing concepts, learning. That's published as a X talk on Xmind's blog. And today, another page in this chapter is getting added, which is this Xmind webinar, which we are doing on this topic. So before we go ahead, I have a question, that what are some of the tasks? I believe most of you are software engineers here. So what are some of the tasks that software engineers do in a day-to-day basis? And if you can tell me that what are the tasks that you do as part of your day-to-day work. So we'll use 3 to 4 minutes for this, and just drop in the chat. Meetings, discussions, ideation. Rob says write code. What else? Planning, meeting, write code, testing. Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about like different kind of tasks that we as the software engineers do: planning, ideation, brainstorming, writing code, testing. I did a poll some time back on social media about different kind of tasks that software engineers do. So there are like 4 category of tasks that each and every software engineer does. First is related to planning and strategy. Second is collaboration, communication, design, implementation, and the last is documentation and reporting work. Now, there are separate subtasks that I could see me doing through Xmind, like planning, strategy, requirements, task prioritization, and under the collaboration and communication, it's on the lines of meetings, discussions, presentations, brainstorming, and retrospectives. And similarly, for people who said like coding, I mean, before coding, there is always you have to work on the ideation flow chart. If there are bugs, then you do a root cause analysis. Some design architecture thought process is usually done, or some kind of visual concepts you have to explain to some other developer, other tester, and so on. And similarly, the fourth category, which I was talking about, is this documentation and reporting, which covers parts like reporting, note taking, status reporting to the management, with kind of different progress statuses, sharing information, and documentation writing. So these are essentially at a high level the different kind of software engineers day to day tasks that we do. And this brings a lot of challenge for everybody. And the biggest challenge that we all get is we have to switch a context a lot, because there are multiple meetings that people have in one day. They have to switch a context from planning for one part to like doing some different discussion to giving some knowledge transfer. And it's like a continuous juggle and shift between all of these aspects. So is that something that can you resonate with? Let me know in the chat. So do you resonate with like so many different levels of task, and do you have such kind of things? I'm getting a lot of thumbs up, so which means yes. And now I'll say how to solve this, how to make this better. So essentially, I mean, this is a constant challenge. This is a constant challenge, and if you see, I mean, this is how an engineer's life actually is. I mean, in expectations, I mean, everybody wants us to be productive. Even we want us ourselves to be productive and keep on doing a lot of productive work, and then just spend some minor time in context switching, and then again get productive. So this bottom part of this visual, that's about how we feel that life should be. But in reality, a lot of times what happens is the above visual becomes the true reality, where like we are doing a little bit of productive work, and then we have to switch context, then we get some time to do another productive work, and then context switching eats up a lot of our time. And every time we go in a new context, we have to spend so much time to get a grip on the topics, that what's going on, what was the thing, what was the last connected point, and where to start, where to end. Now this brings us to like a very interesting problem statement. So the problem statement that comes is that like anyhow, I mean, these range of tools is so big, which is like almost 20 to 30 kind of tasks that everybody is doing. Then how to find productivity tools for such a wide range of tasks? I mean, practically speaking, I mean, you can not use like so many tools for each of these. I mean, you cannot keep finding tools which is your planning work or which gets you more productive there, and then for some other task and uh, you have to either get a lot of tools. Second thing is then how to process so much of the data and context switch easily. I mean, or without spending up in so much time in like this context switching, and wasting the time. And if I mean, as a software engineer, you have to work continuously in this profession, then how do you scale yourself beyond your day-to-day work? I mean, how to essentially do more in less? I mean, and that's a constant question that we all have. So for this, I want to tell you the power of our mind. And everybody's mind has a very unique power, and it's a power that not everybody uses, but folks who use it or who have used it a lot, they know the beauty of that power. So it's a power of our mind. It's called visual intelligence. I mean, and it's on the lines of how our mind actually processes data, how our mind actually processes different levels of information. So the mind in its internal structure of working, it arranges the data in form of different nodes, and there are different nodes, different that store all these data points, and it's somehow connected from node to node to node to node. And that's how our mind actually arranges the data. Whenever we read, I mean, our mind makes a neural connection of different points and interlinks them. And that's how you get your ideas back, the creativity back, spontaneous thoughts back when you think about certain topics. So mind works in a similar structure like mind mapping, and that's the reason why it's called mind mapping. And when you process text documents a lot, like blurb paragraphs and text, I mean, your processing capability reduces a lot. But when you process data using mind map, the processing capability is very high. So you can process a lot of things in a very small period of time, and your context switching time and your processing time reduces a lot. Second part is that everybody has this visual intelligence in them. A visual intelligence turns on automatically whenever you see a visual. So whenever, for example, somebody is explaining you something for so long without using any visual, sometimes it gets very hard to understand what they are saying. But as they say, I mean, a picture says 1,000 words, and these 1,000 words which a picture conveys is called the visual intelligence, which it automatically transmits within a go. So with visual intelligence, with such visual tools like mind mapping, your creative energy boosts like anything, and it's absolutely revolutionary. The third aspect of our work or our profession is that we do a lot of conceiving. So we conceive a lot of data, we understand a lot of data, we process it internally, but at the same time, a lot of work that engineers do deal with projecting of data. So projecting of whatever we have done, or the insights, or the status, or the reports, or our notes, or our knowledge to somebody else. And our ability to project it or to communicate it in a very easier manner determines our overall success in the industry. I mean, people who can project ideas very quickly are always preferred to talk to customers, to get new engagements, because they give back a lot of value to whatever context and organization they are working on. So with mind maps, the projection power also increases a lot. I mean, and when you compare the projection capability of thing from a mind map versus any other tool like Excel, Word doc, PowerPoint, and so on, I mean, mind map, even with a small one tool, you could essentially have more leverage than all the traditional tools that you have been using till now. And again, I mean, it also comes down to like a lot of ideas that you each node can be an idea, and then there are interconnections. And the more ideas and interconnections there is more possibility of this creativity. So, I mean, this is the mind mapping creativity funnel that a lot of times I use as a creator to generate like a lot of creative ideas. So I create mind maps, and then based on that, I take some notes, I make some links, and from that I derive my blogs, my videos, my conference talks, and so on. I mean, even this talk I had just generated in a mind map. So that's one part. Any questions in the meanwhile? If there are, for a minute, I'll just check the chat. uh, yeah, that's the nature. You can't complain about switching context. I think best tool is using whiteboard for any kind of problem. Absolutely. I mean, whiteboard gives that freedom and visual freedom for sure. I love whiteboarding. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, folks. So next part is, I mean, like, how do you use Xmind, the best tool? Last 4 years, and I have found Xmind to be a perfect balance of, I mean, ease of use and the amount of functionality it offers. And I mean, so this has been my journey with Xmind. So it's a three-stage journey that I want to share with you. So I mean, when I started with Xmind, when I started with, my first step was to get familiar. So I was getting templates. So you can click on new from template way. If you that, is it something related to note and list, learning, thinking, inspiration, creativity, planning. So whatever you're doing right now, so you can essentially find templates and examples of existing good mind maps, that how do you do that through Xmind. And that's like a wonderful feature that Xmind offers. So that's part one. And then part two is, I mean, using stickers, icons. So once you start using Xmind, I mean, it gets really fun. It gets really visual when you start adding like different kind of stickers, icons. And for example, this is one icon that I use for demonstrating my status. That, for example, what is the status of my project? It's just started. It's 20%. It's just like about to end. It's like 80%. And for example, this is done. So whenever something is done, I can just mark that this is done. So I can quickly demonstrate to people that, see, this is the status of these 10 tasks which I've put on a mind map. Then next step is like playing with font, color, style based on what your branding is, and then start creating some basic mind maps. So that's how I started, and that's how my journey started. And then I started practicing mind maps. So practicing mind map was real fun. I used to start doing mind maps for different kind of learnings that I used to do. I used to take notes via mind maps, and then trying out templates and maps. So mind mapping is not just about like this one kind of format where you get a center node and different up down nodes and child nodes, but essentially you can play around with a lot of different templates, different kind of maps. So once you go to format and map, you see there are different kind of skeleton level, and once you create anything in one kind of a map, you can easily transition it to something else. So for example, if I wanted to convert the previous one into logic chart, it's just like finding the right kind of a map, whatever I want, and converting into that. And Xmind takes care of all of these things. So essentially, I mean, if I have a data that I have to represent in form of an organization chart, it's very easy for me to quickly transpose data based on my audience, based on my need, and quickly share it or quickly use it to print something or do something. If I'm creating a plan and if I want to create a timeline view, that's possible with it. Or if I want to do a root cause analysis, and a lot of folks use fishbone diagrams for root cause analysis, we can use that. You can even convert it to a table. So if you want to just you like Excel, you like tables, you can do that, and or a matrix. So essentially, I mean, all of that is possible. You can play around with themes and so on. So that's like a lot of freedom and easy switching that's available. And then you can create your own template. So I've created my own template. So I'll give you an example. So this is one template that I use for asking questions to customers, and these are like context-free questions. That what kind of questions, and there are different kind of, if you notice, I mean, categories for questions, and these are guide words for me, which enable me to think that in this situation, these are the questions that you should be asking. These are the answers that you should be finding, or you can ask, or you can think of. Have you covered these? And similarly, there are different kind of templates that I've created for, say, the mission, context, the feature discussions, the product coverage outlines, and so on. So I mean, it's like a lot of kind of templates you can create. You can create your own themes. You can even share the mind map. So that's like a interesting capability that, like, once you create a mind map, you can share it on the web. So once I share this link with anybody, you all can also open this link on your PC. This is one kind of a mind map that I created for test ideas. That what are the different kind of test idea sources, and I created this and uploaded it here. I did it from one book, and anywhere I mean, I don't even need to have this Xmind software. I mean, even if I have this link, I can use it and present this idea anywhere without even using a software, and it runs like a presentation. So it keeps me, I mean, ready with data. So I just need to find a computer and internet access, and all the things are ready with me. So that's like a real power. Next is I've created summaries of talks using mind maps, and these mind map summary books, mind map driven videos, and you can even present the mind maps like how I showed you. And Xmind has also come up with an interesting thing which I want to quickly demonstrate, which is the Xmind Copilot. So Xmind Copilot is like the AI model or the AI counterpart of mind mapping. So what to do? For example, if you are here and if you want to create something new, and I want to do a trip to Jaipur, I want to create a mind map for this. I'll click on generate, and it will automatically generate a mind map. So it will be like some guide words to help you get started. And once you click on this, it's like within a 10 seconds or so, it should be getting up and started to create different kind of nodes. Meanwhile, I'll just check for this. And if you see, I mean, this kind of mind map is live getting generated. I mean, which contains of different historical elements. And if you want, you can even generate an article. So I mean, this is just a random example, but you can use it for technology and things. And of course, because this is generated via AI, there will be issues, but you can always edit them. You can delete things. You can add nodes. So it's just a starting step. It can just give you some starting ground. But these are 5 things that you should be thinking on, and see how live it's generating an article. And you can, at the end, you can even download this article as a markdown. So that's like a real power. So that was at a high level how my journey with Xmind looked like. And once I'm open for a Q&A. And before I take the Q&A, I just have a call to action for anybody who doesn't have Xmind, please download it, give it a try. It's free for evaluation period, and you can use it to evaluate the tool. Create a mind map, and if you don't have an idea about what to create, maybe create a mind map about this webinar, that what it is, or anything else. I mean, even if you want to create it for some learning topic or anything, and post it on social media. If you want, tag Xmind, tag me. I can give you some feedback, how to improve it, how to make it better. So use it and spread this thing, and that's pretty much. I mean, thank you, and I'll now be watching the space for Q&A. And I see some discussions going on in the chat. Can you share your Xmind pages you use for testing? Yes, I can share them. If you can DM me on LinkedIn, I'll share these templates with you. Thanks, Henry. Any questions? I'll go to the questions tab. Do I see a question? No. I'll go to the chat section. So any questions, anything that I can help you with? Because of time shortage, I speeded up a bit on certain parts, but if you want, I could show you. Why should I click for Xmind Copilot? Can you just show it once again? Where should I click for Xmind Copilot? Okay, so this is the link for Xmind Copilot. I'll first share this with you, actually. And in the Xmind Copilot, there is a button where you click on New, and there you type anything. So do we have a topic? Give me a sample topic on the chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mickey is giving a topic. I hope so. Payment industry. Okay. Payment industry testing, probably. Or testing in payment industry. I'll click on generate. Let's see how it works. So let's see if it can generate some guide words. Yes, please. Okay. And see, now it has started. Importance of testing in payment industry, challenges, conclusion, and so on. And there are different kind of things that it generated, like diverse payment methods, complex, automated testing, and so on. Now, of course, I mean, for any domain expert in payment industry, I mean, some of these points might not make sense because these are anyhow generated by AI. So there is always that sense of error in that. But you could always click on inspire me, and like when you click on inspire me, it will like find more nodes or more subsequent nodes, and then will add them. So this is kind of a good stimulant or something to get started with. And if you want to generate more text on any aspect, then just select that or generate paragraph, or instead just click on generate article. So it can do that. So yeah, I need to go. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone. So you can drop me the feedback for this session. How was it? You all invested your 30 minutes or 35 minutes here. Good, bad, anything more that should be covered. Let me know through the thumbs up, through the messages, and we would be extending this. Yeah. Thumbs up and love here. And so there is a Discord community for Xmind too. I would recommend everybody to join, and click on this link, join the Discord community, and get familiar with Expedia. So thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful week, and have fun with mind mapping.